Boxing truth here. Alright, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Terence Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford, a fighter I haven't talked about in a while. And it's kind of funny. It's like, it's pretty much full circle when it comes to Crawford. Remember when I first started my channel, I was saying the stuff that everybody else is now saying. That Crawford's resume is too weak, that he's overrated, that he's missing. He doesn't have any signature wins on his resume. He's the most highly regarded fighter without really having proven, at least on paper, that he's amongst the elites of this boxing game. He has the weakest resume among all top 10 pound-for-pound fighters. I would say the majority of them. He doesn't have any A-class victories. His biggest win, and there's an argument, is either a inactive Gamboa coming off 2-year layoff, Victor Postol, who's a good fighter, or Jeff Horn, who was coming off the Manny Pacquiao controversial victory. To me, his most impressive win to date is Jeff Horn, because I don't believe that version of Gamboa would beat a Jeff Horn. Postol, debatable, would be a close fight. But it's just funny that Crawford is now, the narrative about him is that he's on the wrong side of the street, that he's overrated, that he's missing the quality victories to really put him amongst the elites of the boxing game, doesn't have any signature victories. And this is what I've been saying all along. I've been saying it for the past 3-4 years that, this cat, he's good, and ain't no doubt about that. He's a good fighter. You look at the quality, the way he dispatches his opponents, 6 consecutive knockout victories, but the opposition is lacking. But you can't deny that he is putting on performances and he's knocking guys out. It's just a damn shame that he's pretty much the Golovkin of his time. He's probably not going to get a big fight until his mid-30s. And by that time, it's going to be too late. He'll be not what he once was, maybe a little past it. And perhaps will get beaten by a younger, fresher fighter when that big fight arrives. But even then, even so, is Crawford a pound level fighter? Yeah, I think he is. Should he be ranked above Errol Spence Jr.? I mean, let's talk about that. Why should Bud be ranked above Errol Spence Jr. on the pound list? Let's talk about it. Okay, on paper, he's won more titles. Okay, he's been undisputed. That's pretty much the only thing Crawford has going for him when it comes to edging him over Spence. But would you pick any fighter that Crawford's beaten to beat Errol Spence? Would you say his undisputed run, beating bum-ass Ndongo, beating winning a vacant strap against Delorme, and stinking it out against Postol is more impressive than what Errol Spence did, going overseas, knocking out Kell Brook, granted coming off a knockout loss, or beating Sean Porter in a unification match? It's hard to say. I think Spence has better wins overall on paper. He has better quality wins on paper. But Crawford is more accomplished on paper. So, in my view, I don't think either deserves a top 5 ranking until they fight each other. And according to a lot of rumors and sources, I really don't know what to believe. I ain't going to believe Rick Glazer. I'm not really sure Arum has any inside knowledge about Errol Spence health matters. But I think it's more there was more damage done to what was being reported. And it's unfortunate that Spence is, on the shelf right now. He really was coming off his biggest win, had a lot of momentum, and now this has really put a halt to a lot of the plans. The fight with Danny Garcia, a showcase fight that he was probably going to look spectacular in, perhaps even be the first to knock out Danny Garcia. Those plans are scratch. I mean, Pacquiao's in limbo now too, and he really got no big fight now. Now that Spence is on the shelf, Crawford is asked out, at least for this year, and maybe some part of 2020 next year. If somehow the Porter fight can be made, that will be a decent start for Crawford in terms of strengthening his resume. But I wouldn't worry too much about Crawford, even if he doesn't get the Spence fight. Even if it doesn't happen, there are still 3 other fights out there that are very interesting for Crawford. A Porter fight to showcase how good he is in the welterweight division. A fight against Regis Prograis will be tremendous. Another elite fight will be a Josh Taylor. That's a great fight. And of course, an in-house fight with Jose Ramirez, if he can somehow beat Josh Taylor, which I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, Jose Ramirez is a top fighter in the 140-pound weight class, and he's a grind-you-down type style, relentless. Be an interesting fight. So Crawford does have dance partners in the future. The only fear is that it'll be too late by the time this big fight arrives. Perhaps he'll be 34 years of age when this big fight arrives, and he'll be past his prime and not at his absolute best. So, Crawford, it's unfortunate, man. He is a good fighter. I've been shitting on him for years. Always felt he was a little overrated. Still think he's a little overrated. But he's definitely an elite fighter. Just I don't think he's number one. And Bob, shut down that Canelo talk, bro. Just stop. Stop it, Bob. No need to get Terence Crawford hurt, man, just to get a legacy fight. Besides, it's more likely Canelo will never fight at 160 pounds again. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. Should Crawford be ranked above Errol Spence on the pound-for-pound list? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.